my god, it's all going to hell. Ah! Yo, my fellow Ascendants, what's up? Today we got another video. I'm going to be going through a technique of mine that has worked out very well. I'm going to show you a couple of charts of where I bought into these certain coins at certain times and the reasons why I bought into them and where they have gone since I bought in. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, guys, though, because frankly, there's a lot of FUD that starts happening when people start seeing red candles. And I've been saying it for a while, but when you're looking at the chart, right, those red candles are literally just people's emotions. That's actually it. Okay? When you see the red candles and it's like 3 months of that just going downwards, that's literally how bad people feel. That's all it is. All right? See, now, the best investments that you can make is going to be literally when everyone feels bad about it, right? Because the market isn't buying everything up. In fact, it's selling everything down, which means everything is cheaper, right? And the entire way to succeed at crypto is buy cheap, sell expensive. It's as easy as that. And when are things getting expensive? When everybody wants to buy it, aka the good feelings. The good feelings being the green candles, right? That's when everybody feels good. That's when everybody is continually buying everything up. And unfortunately, if you're joining them buying during that time, well, maybe perhaps you're just a little bit following the crowd. And whoever got rich following the crowd? Basically no one. So I'm going to take you through some examples here. But first, let me talk about this technique of mine. All right. So this technique of mine, obviously it's not like my own technique, but it's something that I've kind of, at this point, I want to say kind of perfected. So this technique of mine, right, it's all about buying in the blood. And it was inspired by when I was learning, getting mentored by Dollar Cost Crypto and Cultivate Crypto. They were always saying, buy in the blood, buy in the blood, buy in the blood. Well, this was literally at the bottom of the market, the end of 2022. That was literally the bottom of Bitcoin. I believe it was in November of 2022. And so we were used to, and I say we, meaning the DJ Roundtable crew, where we originally started there, we were used to red candles. It was only ever red candles. That's the only thing we ever got. And it's like, buy cheaper, buy cheaper. And so this idea has been molded and formed out of that pain, right? Now, I started using this during, more euphoric times when green candles were actually going up pretty high. And you could think of, say, back in March of 2024, when the SAC funds were really buying up Hex and a lot of the other coins. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, we're going to the moon. Okay? That was a time that, number one, for the bets that I had placed in earlier, I made quite a bit of money out of that, right? But then number two, when it started going back down, everybody was really getting upset of like, why are you guys selling? Why are you guys selling, right? Well, I'll tell you what, I dumped in a lot more money during that time because I could see kind of a trend, and the trend is you get like a meme coin here and everybody loves it and everybody's getting hyped up over it, but then they would rotate that coin over to a new coin and a new coin and a new coin, and it kind of like went around in a circle. And so what I started realizing is, as the crowd is moving around to these different coins, different projects, things like that, what I'm able to do is I'm able to front run them by saying, hey, you remember that PDAI thing? Yeah, nobody remembers that at all anymore. Oh, in fact, it's being flooded. People don't like it anymore. I'm going to put some money into that, right? Or the influencer coins, SolidX or Axis. I mean, there's a lot of these different coins too. I made quite a bit off of the Tang Gang, actually, because they were, at that time, they were being like just... they were getting themselves into some trouble. And what I did was I literally just threw some money at what I thought was the best bets on that on their coins, watching it go down into the red, and well, they ended up having their own little meme season, right? And I made quite a bit of money off that. So this technique of mine, I want to go ahead and try and describe it in a way that you'll be able to actually do it yourself, because buying in the blood, sure, you get it, right? But you need to understand like how the feelings tend to work. Okay, so I actually, the Prairie Banana, shout out to you. You are freaking fantastic. You always come up with great information, and whenever I see you post anything, I make sure I read it really well. I appreciate you very much, and I kind of took this from what it was you were talking about, and in fact, I'd like to talk with you more about it. However, this entire video right here has been inspired by you, bro, so I love you very much, and here we go. So when we take a peek over here, right, ultimately what happens, Richard Hart, he tweeted out that the weak hands were shaken out, massive emergency end stake penalties were paid to the honest stakers, right? And he's talking about shaken, massive emergency end stakes, right? Weak hands. It's because you can't really hold. So what happened? It went up by 50x in 2 months. Now, this is something incredibly important to understand. Weak hands, because as soon as those red candles start dropping like this, as a person, you're like, oh no, I don't want to lose all my money. But you haven't lost any money, guys. You don't lose money until you sell. That's why you just got to keep holding, all right? Because, hey, it may go down, but it's also going to go back up. You need to understand this about markets. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, the RH ecosystem likes... the RH ecosystem seems like it's being strategically pressured, driving prices and liquidity to exceptionally low levels, setting the stage for a major breakout. Now, doesn't this sound familiar? This deliberate approach echoes a time-tested strategy RH tends to employ, which is to shake out the weak hands while rewarding those with conviction. And he has stated before, believe in me and I will make you rich. He's 100% true, because he knows what it is he wants to do and how he can pump the price. But there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to believe. And they're not going to believe because they're seeing things like Solana meme coins pumping off to the moon, right? Or Solana going crazy. And unfortunately for them, well, it's not quick enough, right? I stated in the PLS conference on stage that one of the biggest issues that newer people have when they get into the cryptocurrency space is they think, oh, I'm going to put in $100 and then 3 months later it's going to pump to $1 million. It's like, no, that's not how that works. It's not going to work like that. You need to hold. You need to hold for, I don't know, maybe 4 years, right? Perhaps. So, it's really important to understand this. Now, historically, similar conditions have preceded explosive upward moves, aka HEX, right? And now with the legal hurdles that are clearing up, there's a potential return to public engagement where maybe he starts streaming, something like that, and the timing could align for maximum impact. For those already in, selling now could mean missing the rally. For newcomers, this may be a rare opportunity to position early. This ecosystem thrives on the resilience and strategic patience. Patience, guys, that's the main word. Those who understand the cycle stand to gain the most. Though we are still waiting on ETH to pump, however, the time for glory is near. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Now, yes, at the very end of that statement, we're still waiting on ETH. ETH needs to go up for Pulse to truly go up, all right? It's the nature of the beast. However, ETH is ready to break out too. There's a reason why Trump has been buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Ethereum, okay? It's not just Trump. There's a lot of other institutions now with good regulations, and then all these institutions are just going to start diving into Ethereum because they're a little bit scared right now over alts, right? That's fine. That's fine. But Ethereum's day will come, and I can guarantee that Richard Hart right now, he's really gearing up for that, because as soon as like Ethereum starts taking off, oh my god, we are going to take off like crazy. So what is it that I'm trying to say here? Nate, what are you saying? I got a bunch of information here. I think I understand what you're saying, but I don't quite know what to do. All right, I want you to go through the Pulse chain coins, altcoins, right? Pulse alts is what I call them. And I want you to go through those and look at what are the ones that you think are kind of like the blue chip Pulse alts, right? You know, the more safe ones, not these brand new memes that are just created last week or something, right? What would those be? Well, look at kind of like the larger groups of people. Okay. Now, obviously, the first one I'm going to be naming here is PDAI. All right. There is so much FUD right now in PDAI. It's absolutely crazy. Where they're just like, oh, they're going to mint forever, forever minting, unlimited minting. It's like, all right, cool. Sure, at your own risk. However, frankly, if you could just infinitely mint PDAI, why would you not have done that already? Why do you continue to allow this upwards trajectory type of chart going on with PDAI? It doesn't really make too much sense to me. Okay? So I think there's some kind of FUD going. Maybe there is a minting way, right? But maybe it's not just you freely click a few buttons and then you mint yourself millions of dollars. I think just about anybody would have tried to figure that out if it was that easy. No, I think it's something else. Okay? But that fear is there. You got it? That fear. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. FUD. That right there. That's a buying signal. Now, it doesn't mean you jump into anything that's like fudded out like that, okay? But that's one of those signals that makes you go, I wonder why. I wonder why it's being fudded so hard. Okay, so number 2, all right? Number 2 is a large community of people. A large community of people that love a particular coin or a set of coins, right? Now, if you have a larger community of people, obviously what's the most important thing in crypto? Communities. Oh, so communities are what you're looking for. You're seeing that there's a larger community over here. Okay, start looking at what's the alts on that main coin, right? PDAI is the main one, right? You got Atropa, you got Teddy Bear, you've got Wrapped Bitcoin. There's a lot of other things, right? Start looking into those. Okay, start trying to figure out if you can make money on those, and especially buy them when it's just red candles, just red candles, right? That's when you want to be buying. All right. Now, when it came to the PDAI FUD, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna touch anything. But now that it's gone like 80% down, I'm over here just licking my chops because it's so cheap right now. Remember, buy cheap, sell expensive. Take a shot. All right. And so if I take you over here, let's go ahead and I'll show you what I did with PDAI. It's this one right here. Now, these circles here is when I originally bought in to PDAI. And I am actually legitimately going to get some more money here real soon, and I'll be buying down here. However, I wanted to point this out because originally I thought to myself, hey, P copies, that sounds really cool. And so I bought a few. That's when I get it. That's back. I think it was here actually, because I started the P copies went up, and I'm like, wow, I actually made some money on this. This is crazy. And then it started going down. Everybody was fudding it, and they were talking about how it's just going to be minted forever. I was like, that's interesting. It seems like it's really low right now, and because it's really low, maybe I should buy some more. Well, lo and behold, this is that March pumpy pump time, and everybody. This was like I would say peak PDAI narrative time. This is when PDAI really started becoming popular, and when it became popular like this, I literally thought to myself, nah, I'm actually going to sell some here. And so I did. I sold quite a bit and made quite a bit of money too. However, as it came back down, I started realizing everybody forgot about PDAI entirely. Nobody remembers Tropa. Nobody remembered Teddy Bear, except for, I think it was Brutes, who was like, oh, freaking Teddy Bear is good. I'm like, cool. There's one guy there. But this is when I started realizing, by the way, this is the weekly chart, okay? So it was somewhere within these couple of weeks that I thought to myself, hey, whatever happened to that PDAI thing? Then I went back to the chart, looked at it, saw how low it was, how cheap it was, and I bought more. And as you can tell, that was a damn good choice. I'm doing the same thing right here. So I'm showing this to you because the technique, it does work. Now, I bought into some scams as well, okay? Some of them legitimately went to zero, right? And it's like, okay, well, whatever. However, I did, for a lot of these scam ones, right? I actually did catch a pump, and I took my initial back out, and then I'm like, okay, let it ride to the next 2x, and then it just goes down to zero. Okay, so that was useless. But, I mean, for the majority of these coins that I've gotten into, they've done really well. And it's because I buy into the blood. I buy into the fear. When everybody on Twitter is sitting there, oh, this is gonna go south, this is gonna go south, I'm like, this could go really well, actually. It really could, because it has that community. Remember? It has the community. So let's go ahead and look over here then. Speaking of community, Axis, right? You got the solid index. The solid index. So solid index, it's a bunch of influencer coins that have been liquidity bonded together, and basically they kind of run together. So you got the Fire Whale, and he has Solid X, right? And then he's bonded everything to Axis, the Axis token, which that's a popular influencer. You got Crispy Man, he's the crispiest of all men on on all of Pulse Chain. And then you've got Randy Hilarski, and I haven't talked to Randy Hilarski much, but I'll tell you what, during the conference when I was talking with him, just for that short amount of time, fantastic guy, absolutely love him. I need to talk to him more. Randy, if you're seeing this, reach out to me, man, because we need to talk more. With that being said, let's go back here. All right, so again, this is when I bought, right? Now, I didn't want to get into influencer coins because my first thought was, influencer, they're going to pump and dump their crap, right? However, I saw this, what was happening here, and then I saw these big red candles, and I thought to myself, ooh, oh, that's multiple large red candles. It's just so cheap. I decided to throw some money at it, and almost immediately the next week, shot up like this. Hilariously enough, I actually sold here. Now, did I sell everything? No. I usually take my principal, times 2. So yeah. However, I just left the moon bag in there, and that's when shot up like this, and I sold everything. I legitimately flat out sold everything when I saw it shot up like this. However, it came back down. This again though, right? So we were in that March time here, playing kind of a risky game there, and I started the same way as with PDI. I was thinking to myself, hey, whatever happened to that Axis token? Like, how come nobody's talking about the solid index anymore or any of that? And I was like, oh crap, look how cheap it is again. So I bought some more, and as you can tell, it's helped, or it's been a good buy. It's been a good buy. I kind of want to grab more. However, I don't have enough funds to really go into it. I would though. I absolutely would if I could, for certain. That being said, I just want to point this out. So, Atropa and Die, right? The story, quite frankly, is kind of the same with Atropa. It's always right around this March area, and then it started going down. Everybody forgot about it. And this was about the same time. Let's see, it was about the same time, like July, right? Yep. Yeah, that's correct. When I realized, wait a minute, whatever happened to that whole ecosystem? Whatever happened to it? This is my most recent buy, by the way. I saw it jump down like this, and then I saw that green candle. I'm like, ooh, it might have bottomed. So it was right around in this area. I bought some more, and that didn't work out too good. But you watch it though; it's gonna end up going up. So just wanted to show you what it looks like on the chart. Okay, I'm not some technical analysis super genius or anything. I don't know charts. All I know about charts is the sentiment of the community. Okay, you've got the red candles that go down really harshly, and then all the FUD comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is so bad." Blah blah blah. Sometimes I let the FUD kind of cool off a little bit before I'll buy, and then try and make a good decision, not just like, oh, everyone's fearing things, buy, right? I don't I don't just click that, right? I let things kind of clear up, think about it. But the other one that works so good is a Forgotten token. All right, Forgotten, and no token has worked better for me of being forgotten and me buying into it than this one right here, PTGC. This one right here absolutely mooned. Now, I originally bought it because I love Coach. However, during the big run-up and all that, it started dumping down, and it dumped down pretty harshly, right? Ooh, let me get off of that real quick. Doing, there we go. All right. And it dumped down pretty harshly. But what I started noticing is whatever happened to that alien coin. There was like that alien thing that everybody was super hyped about. and I realized it was right around in this area. I'm like, damn. Maybe I should buy some more, because it's kind of forgotten. Well, guys, I think it worked out for me. I would say that was probably one of my better buys. Again, it was strictly because I was thinking to myself, hey, whatever happened to it? How come people aren't talking about it anymore? So this technique, you need to be careful with it, and there's a lot of sentiment reading going on with it, and perhaps there is some technical analysis that somebody smarter than me would be able to do with it, right? But overall, I read into the blood. I see those red candles, and I start thinking, why is it dumping so much? Why? And I start realizing, oh, people are just sitting here fudding it out, saying, oh, it's gonna go to zero, everything's bad, blah blah blah, the founder is terrible for whatever reason, something like that, right? Something that makes the price go down, makes people feel bad. Okay, well, that makes me go, oh, okay, let me have a look at this now, because people really hate this. And then you can try and figure out from there whether it's going to be a good investment or not. However, the other one though too is forgotten. If it is forgotten, you're like, whatever happened to that particular coin? What's going on with this? And then if you look at it, it's in that super cheap zone, like just cheap. Everyone's sold out of it. Well, I showed you the evidence of how that worked out for me, right? I'm making this video now because there's a lot of people who are just kind of fudding the ecosystem in general. And there's a lot of other coins that have kind of just gotten forgotten overall. I can promise you right now that if I had the ability to, if I had more stables, if I had more dry powder sitting on the sideline, I'd basically be dumping everything in it at this point. And I'd be searching for these same type of coins, maybe buying more of these coins. Right now, I'm actually particularly interested in PDAI because once again the unlimited minting thing came up again. So I'm not sure what's going on, but all I know is that there's a buying opportunity here. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to understand what it is that I do and why it is that I'm not fazed by these red candles. Now I feel really bad for anybody out there who legitimately gets butthurt over these red candles and say, oh, it's all going to zero, I need to sell out now. I would not do that if I were you. Okay, obviously this is not financial advice. It's not, but it's not what I would do. My own financial advice for myself is that you buy in the red, you sell in the green. That's what I believe, and that's what I think would benefit you guys the most. This is the Ascending Man. You are my favorite Ascendants. Thank you very much for listening to me. I love you a lot. See you next time, guys.